The 2026 World Cup is defined by its sheer geographical scale, stretching across 3 countries and multiple time zones via dozens of flight paths. Expanding to 48 teams alters the statistical variance of the tournament, moving away from the predictability of smaller historical fields. When you look past the sheer number of games, you find the most significant invisible variable for 2026, the physical toll on the players. This side-by-side chart illustrates the logistical shift. Qatar featured compact travel and climate control. 2026 requires thousands of miles of travel in extreme summer temperatures. This heat will physically drain even the most talented squads. To predict the winners here, we have to look past national pedigree and prioritize the squads best equipped to withstand this specific geographical and climate friction. Building a winning bracket requires locating spots where the public consensus is overvaluing a specific team. Most fans rely on default rankings, or historical legacy, picking the biggest brand names. This creates a high market cost. When media attention and public betting are high, there is very little value left in picking that team. We have to measure that cost against the likelihood that a squad can actually survive these physical conditions. If public hype is high, but a team's physical profile is poorly suited for the heat, you have an overvalued trap, a favorite that is structurally likely to fail. The goal is to move past the hype and identify the squads whose tactical profiles actually align with the environmental demands of the bracket. Our first major filter is climate adaptability. High-intensity, relentless pressing systems are vulnerable here. These tactics are native to cooler climates and drain energy reserves far too quickly in high humidity. Players like Erling Haaland represent the elite Northern European archetype, highly talented, but optimized for much cooler conditions. This specific profile is susceptible to physical burnout when asked to maintain that same intensity across 90 minutes of North American humidity. Contrast that with the athletic disruptors, teams from warmer regions that naturally possess higher physical endurance in the heat. Squads like the Ivory Coast are built for these draining environments, maintaining their pace well into the second half of matches. Individual performance ceilings from the European winter offer little protection for a squad that physically fades by the 60th minute in July. The second filter is the trade-off between squad harmony and ego density. France represents the Star Collective, a squad overflowing with individual talent and massive media expectations. Their tactical advantage is individual brilliance. They can break down almost any defense through the sheer skill of one player. However, having too many protagonists can lead to chemistry issues when players prioritize individual headlines over the collective. These ego-dense cultures can become brittle under adversity, especially during a month-long tournament camp. The counter-strategy is the system-first approach, where players are selected for their willingness to sacrifice for a rigid tactical philosophy. Argentina operates as a unified front, relying on total dedication to a shared system, rather than just a collection of A-list stars. While star collectives have a higher individual ceiling, system-first teams offer the resilience needed to survive internal friction. We must also consider the variable of off-pitch geopolitics and psychological motivation. Teams facing political scrutiny or logistical adversity, like Iran playing in North America, carry a unique emotional weight. This pressure often forces these squads to adopt hyper-defensive, resilient tactical blocks that are incredibly difficult to break down. For the viewer, these matches are often a defensive grind, low in scoring and frequently decided by penalty shootouts. These teams are elite bracket busters, designed to frustrate complacent favorites through sheer resilience. We can now synthesize these variables into a clear strategy for your predictions. This chart plots tournament hype on the vertical axis against actual resilience on the horizontal axis. The top right contains the safe chalk. Teams like Argentina and Spain carry high costs, but their resilience justifies the pick. Their balance of talent and tactical discipline offers the most reliable path to the late stages. The top left quadrant is where you find the traps. Teams like Norway and England, where public hype does not match physical or psychological endurance. Betting on these squads requires ignoring the environmental and tactical realities we have isolated. Filtering out the top left quadrant is the direct way to protect your bracket from early upsets. For the best value, look at the bottom right. These are the dark horses: Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Turkey. They carry low public hype, but they have the physical profiles to thrive in the heat and exploit the fatigue of the traditional favorites. Remember, winter club form in the European Champions League is a very poor predictor for summer success in North America. Build your brackets strictly on structural resilience and climate adaptability. Those are the factors that will decide the winners in 2026.